Hey guys! Okay, we are back to do some more on this large lap book. And somebody asked me the other day what a lap book was. Well, and I said, sorry, this is not to make you feel silly or had a stupid question, but a lap book is a book that you can put in your lap and work on it. So it's definitely going to want a very solid back side, which we already did incorporate and made it a very solid back side, so that when it lays in your lap, you have something very solid to write on. And, you know, your flaps don't have to be that solid. But I'm sorry, my dogs are in here. Okay, so where we're at, we are really getting close to being done. We did this the other day, and I glued it in. So we've got all of our little flaps. And, you know, so we've got all of this done to here. It is starting to get a little thicker, so we're going to have to watch. I knew this page was going to add some thickness. I see a little spot here that did not get glued down very well. So we're going to take care of that right now. Okay. So we have these two outer pages to do. And I have this, and I thought it was so cool because it's see-through, it's clear, kind of, you know, it's, what do they call it, translucent. So it's not transparent, you can't see all the way through it, but you can see stuff through it. So it's translucent, I believe, is the proper terminology. Now, if somebody else knows that I'm calling it wrong, please let me know so that we all can get it right. So I think I'm going to work on this side, but I'm going to make another one of these little plastic things, and I'll show you where I got it from. So this one, we have a double pocket to play with. I got 2 envelopes sitting in here, and then we have our beautiful tree, and that goes on this side. So we're looking at this, and I see that I don't have, but I may do something that'll cover that up so that we don't have to worry about inking it. So let's hang loose for a sec on that. And one of the, no, shush. Sorry guys, shush, hooch. That's enough. That's enough. You're gonna wake up, little man. Okay, and I did get some different papers, and I wanted to just show you from a friend when I went to craft with my friends that I used to craft with. And they all gave me some things that were just in the stuff that they had. So isn't this fun? I love it. Got some writing on the back, and then it's clear. So we will be incorporating that. And how super easy is that? Huh? Now this was an extra long sheet of paper. It was not glued together. So this was an extra long sheet. But you can certainly cut like from a 12 by 12, and then you can put a little 1/2 inch and glue it and extend. So you can definitely get something that looks like this. But then they had all these different little papers, different fun things. And that's got a nice butterfly on it. So I grabbed all of these. And these are purpley pinks and stuff. So I thought, well, maybe they'll work. So we'll see if we have some fun little things. And there's some nice purple and some lavender or lilac. And then these are really pretty. Love the roses. And so, yeah, I've got a lot of these different things. So I was really happy that everybody jumped into their goodies for me because they knew I didn't bring a whole bunch. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And I thought, I've got some crumbs on here. I thought that one would be kind of cool, and then this black one would be kind of cool. Yeah, don't know that I need that. And then we got these 2 butterfly papers, and they're just white on the back. So I have those to add into all of my other goodies. So we have more to play with. So I'm starting to really feel very confident that we're going to have enough. Now this is the inside front cover. So I do need to, even though I've got 2 envelopes, I am going to try and make this very flat and smooth so that when it closes in, that my flap will lay very flat and smooth. And this side is just getting picture. You know, it's just going to be a picture. So we won't have to worry about any more bulk there. So let's pull this off. Well, first I wanted to see how much space I still have. Yeah, I think we will end up using, let's see, do we have enough? Oh yeah, we got enough of this. So we could add the blue. And let's remind ourselves now, we've got on the opposite page, we have the blue sheet. So bringing some blue over to this side would be a good choice. We also haven't really used this yet, and this is green. So this might look very pretty, maybe along there like that. But if I use that, because it's see-through in the sheer part, I would have to ink, which is no biggie. Just get my ink dauber out. So we've got lots of possibilities. We can also use another one of these, which is really nice. That might be exactly what I use, but I may incorporate some of this with that. Ooh, look how pretty that looks. Yes. Okay, so we've got that to do. So let's take this and play for a little while. Oop, this came off. We'll put that back over there. Okay, so now we have these 2 envelopes, but I wanted to make one of those clear sheet things that I made. So let me tell you where I got it from. Now we all use cereal boxes as like for covers and things like that, right? Well, what about the bag that the cereal came in? All right, so I thought, gosh, you know, instead of throwing this away, let's see what we can do with that. So I took all of the pieces and parts that were, you know, kind of stuck together, and I opened them all the way up, and I got myself a nice crease on the sides, as best you can, and I'm going to cut off all the real icky parts. And the cutter, this isn't a great cutter, and it cuts it very easily, so that won't be hard. And then on this side, it all gets pulled together tinier. So you can either open all up and make it very long, or I'm just going to take it to where, you know, right about here, I think. I think this will be good. Let's cut it. And I want to make sure that I'm going to get it nice and straight. All right, and let's just cut it right there. Okay, then you have, now I don't know that all of these bags are done in the same way, but, so now if you didn't get the sides cut, because it's plastic, if you didn't get the sides cut really straight, you can line these up. Like this one is not very straight at all. You probably can't see it, but I can. So I cut that off. The other side is good. The other side is good. Now I'm going to cut this seal off. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, so now we can do anything with this. We can make an envelope with this. We can do all kinds of stuff. We can make a sheet and have it, if you're making a journal, you know, if you're making a journal, you can sew this in with your other pages and then have a clear sheet to play around with. Isn't that interesting? How fun, and doesn't cost you anything because you're already got, you know, your page done. I mean, you've already eaten all the goodie out of the bag, so the bag is free, the box is free. I mean, you do end up paying for all of it, but okay, so I am giving it a nice little crease. Not really sure where my bone folder is, so just using my fingers. I do not see my bone folder around here anywhere, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere. There's my tweezers. Okay, so I didn't really want to cover too much of this up, but if we do this little clear sheet, and we can fold this piece back on itself if you want. You can do anything, anything. And then we can fold over this piece like that. All right. And now if we took one of these sides, all right, and put it back behind, right like that. Might have to redo some of our fold lines. And then you've got flip, flip, or flip. Isn't that cool? I love it. And you know, everything has been about decorating our little windows. So now we can decorate and build on things on each page, and it's all going to show through. Like, see, like this one I can put here, but you can see it all the way through. Isn't that neat? I love it. I love it. I don't know how we're going to decorate it yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Fold this over, and I'm going to stick glue on it. Now you do need to make sure that the glue you're using will work on plastic, because not all glues will work on plastic. But this, let's see, I know that, okay, the glue that everybody's using right now, which is the art glitter glue, it does plastic. This one, which is Dreams Etc. Designer glue, mixed media glue, it does plastic. I think Aleene's does plastic. Scotch Quick Dry does not do plastic. So there is that. I'm loving it. Okay, now, can we incorporate, or do we want to incorporate? I wonder, do we want to do these, or do we want to just leave this and play? I don't know. Of course, we could do one of these and use it as a closure to help keep this page closed. And then we can open and see our beautiful tree. Oh, that glue did wrinkle my paper a little bit. Let me see if I can get that out of there. And it'll help once I glue everything down. It will help straighten it out a little bit. Now this one I have a little window. This one, and there's no stuff in it. And this one has a film. Okay. I think though I like this size. It's not too overpowering for the paper, for our plastic paper. And that can go all the way down to the bottom. I like that, and that will help us make a closure. Okay, so we're going to put this envelope away for right now. Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this down to the bottom. Flip it over. I still haven't fixed my glue, so my whole tip comes out instead of just my my pin. So the whole tip is coming out, so I'm going to have to soak it in some hot water and get that to all come out, and then I'll be able to put it back in there. So tonight, for sure, I will do that. Now, I do have another one of these little tabs, but this is just thin little plasticky stuff. So I could put some paper, and let's see, what do I want to do? You know what might be kind of fun to play around with this plastic is some acetate, and that would help stiffen this front piece up, but yet we would still be able to see. I'm trying to find if there's, okay, so there's definitely, this piece would be large enough to do something. And I like that I have the writing and all the little flowers, but yet I'm still going to be able to see through it. So I think I'm going to cut this one to fit this front page. All right, so let's make a mark, and I think I'm going to need a pen that's going to leave a mark on here better than a pencil, and this is not one of them. Oh, there we go. We got a mark, and we got a mark. There we go. So, cutter, and first, I think I'll go ahead and cut right up the center of this one. Oops. Get it all nice and flat. And voila. Okay. And then this mark will set right up in our top spot up here. Make sure everything's against the edge so it's nice and straight. There we go. These are really cool to play with. Really cool. All right. Yeah, I might be putting some of these acetate sheets in my shop. Those would be fun for all of you to play with. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape, and I'm going to put it right along the edge. Because remember, with the acetate, even though the glue dries clear, I don't know about plastic on plastic, so we're just going to use the double-sided tape, which will give us instantaneous closure. Okay. So we're just going to take that off of there. And if I could find, I don't know, there it is. I knew it would be around here somewhere. Oh, and I also will show you something else in a few minutes we might end up using on here as well. Okay, so let's score this, or burnish. Let's burnish. And then I also want to burnish my plastic bag so that I am for sure having some nice creases in it. There we go. Okay. Now, let's take these off. See if I can do it without getting the tweezers out. There's one. 2, 3. I'm trying to get all of these off of here and get them in my hand, and I can't hold on to all of them. Wow. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's make sure we don't put it on upside down. And remember, now it's just going to be the double-sided tape, so you're going to want to get it where you want it before you stick it down. Although it comes off pretty easily, so maybe I do want to put a little bit of glue. Let's try. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the corners, and maybe that will give us a little extra hold. So I'm going to start up top here. Not far enough up. There we go. There we go. I want to make sure it's not squirting out and sticking anything else down. Nice burnish job here. And that really straightens up part of the pocket. Let's see, let's put a color under here so you can see how cool this looks. Isn't that cool? I love it, love it. Okay, now let me show you. I was at we were at a restaurant, and these were the little, now it wasn't green, it was just white, but I took the green with my little thing and I went all around the embossed parts, and then I decided I wanted it to have more color, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then the back I left just white. And this is just a thin paper, a little stiffer than a napkin would be, and it doesn't have that thickness as a napkin. It's a thin piece. But look at this, the one section here. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So let's do this piece. Get this is sitting down nicely. Let's do this piece just like this. All right, so now get my pencil out, and we're going to make a little mark right here, and we're going to make a little mark right here. There we go. And we're going to get the cutter back. This is so much fun. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to make this cross cut first because it won't fit the other way. There we go. So now I have two that are going to fit on the page just right. You guys in the junk journal community that like to use stuff from around the house and things that you would normally throw away, you're probably eating this up. Okay, now I want to get my, and I want to go around these edges. And you got to kind of support this because the paper is not thick enough to not rip if we're not careful with it. It will. Okay, so now we've got it completely surrounded. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, I think. Going to use double-sided tape. Let me find my end. And right on the edge, and don't pull, especially on this thinner paper, you do not want to stretch your tape because then your paper won't lay down flat. And it'll give you kind of a funky funky bend in it. You don't want that. Okay. Just right along that edge so we make sure that it's going to hold it down. One more. And you can even do a couple in the center if you wanted to. But I also need to make sure that I don't get this too thick. I'm going to burnish these down really well. There we go. And let's see if I can do a better job of getting these off of here and holding on to them. It's the littler, shorter ones that are harder to grab hold of. But by George, I think I've got it. Yay! Okay, my little cup is getting full. All right. And we'll do the same thing. We'll put a little bit of glue in the corners, just so it gives us a little extra hold. Now let's get it straight across the top. Here we go. Yay! Let's see now. Oh boy. I love it. Now you can obviously go back and recolor more if you'd so like to. But I'm loving that. I think that's great. I'm thinking that's great. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put a paper clip right here. And then I can paper clip something to the back side. But I also need to do my closure with my envelope. So, let's see, I have my little guy here, and then I need, and I know I've got, there it is. I've got a little brad with a little fancy little rhinestone on the end. So let's close this up and figure out where we're going to want this. So right about there. And I didn't bring, I'm going to use my scissor and I'm going to poke a little hole. There we go. And it did go through, but with a little bit of work, you can, yeah, now you can't even see that it's there. So I have that little hole, and I'm probably going to have to use my scissor in there a little bit more so that I actually can put a brad through. Let's get our little, now you gotta kind of make, sometimes there's a little indentation. So you want to make sure that that is facing underneath. And let's just double check. Let me go ahead and open this up. And then we're going to have to put something on the back that's going to hide this. Let's get this closed. Bring this around. And there's our closure. Isn't that nice? Now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to push it down. So now it's much tighter and better in there, because I didn't get it quite down very well. Now I just need a little something that I can put here that will keep it looking nice, but also look good coming through the paper. So this is just one-sided. I could put it like this, but you know, no matter what you do. So let's take this out. Let's take this out because I've got a little bit of an idea. So we're going to take this out for a second. Ba-bam. There's that. And I wonder if I put this here. Afterwards. That would be really cute. Okay, so that would be cute after. But before, we need a little something on this side. So I wonder if I use one of these butterflies. Nah, not large enough. Not large enough. What else do we have? How about one of these cutouts that they had on some of this paper? Where is that sheet? All right, how about, it's too bluey and stuff. I kind of need something green and pretty. All right, so let me dig around, find what I can find, and I will come back to you probably on the next video, and we will finish this up and move on. All right, guys? So thanks for joining me. See you next time. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.